Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. All right. We are the Anointed House of Saints. All right. Coming back at you with another segment of Thursday Night Live, giving, of course, all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. All right, for allowing us to do another class. I'm your brother Judah.
Brother Jonathan.
Your brother
mute,
on
boy.
mute.
Shalom, brother Boaz.
All right. You already know what it is, man. Like the video when you enter the building, Bobby Cashapp. Like the video when you enter the building. You got to help us out a little bit. All right, you got to help us out a little bit. All right. Like the video when you enter the building. And make sure you are sharing the videos and subscribe to the videos, Bobby Cashapp. All right. Do that for us. Help us out a little bit. All right. And we appreciate everybody for coming in and watching. All right. Thursday Night Live. All right. We got a great lesson coming from the captain. Jonathan, all right, on Satanism in the media, as well as a Menorah breakdown. All right, he explained it to me a little earlier. All right, he got some good stuff for y'all through the spirit. All right, so let's shout some people out real quick. Got the Soldier Nayam in the building, Shalom. Soldier Keyvon, Shalom King. Trey Lindsay, Shalom. Sister Joan Gilchrist, Shalom. Sister Captain Shaquat, Shalom. Sister Aisha, Shalom. Sister Azaniah, I just seen your email. I called Adawan Yakum Yah panicking. I just saw it. All right. Salakia says, Shalom, sister. All right. Got the brother, what's his name? Araya. Khan Banya Howard, the Shalom King. Qadar Haran, Shalom King, Shalom. All right. We got the brother Soldier Isaiah Santiago, Yeshaya, Shalom, King. All right, sister with the Hebrew name that I can't pronounce, Shalom. All right, the brother Malak Yawasat, what's going on, King? All right, Scott Anderson, Shalom. All right, we appreciate everybody for watching. All praise to the Most High. All right, we're going to get straight on into it. Without any further ado, we're just going to get some things together in the background. All right. So we're gonna answer this question. We're gonna answer this question real quick. The brother Araya asked, Shalom, is AHS a different camp than SOT? Khan, all right. We started our own organization, you know what I'm saying? Which is Anointed House of Saints. All right. Those are still our brothers. We love those brothers. We appreciate the wisdom and knowledge that we receive from the elders and the captains over at Sons of Thunder Israelites. But you know, sometimes you gotta go out and do your thing, and that's pretty much what happened in a nutshell. All right, we decided to go ahead and start Anointed House of Saints and push the word under that banner. Simple as that. All right. Hey, Sister Laretha, Shalom, sis, Shalom. Well, like I said, much love and respect to the brothers at SOT. Ain't nothing changed. They still pushing the word. They still doing classes. So make sure you watching those brothers and their classes. We still doing the work. We still doing classes. So, you know, both parties definitely appreciate the support that they receive from you guys.
That's
So
right.
it's to the Most High, man. Yeah, man. So, Jonathan, you want to say anything before we begin?
Yeah, Khan. Hey, that's always family. You know what I mean? So, um, Israel got to calm down and just understand that we all Israel. We all trying to get the same penny at the end of the day. All right. So the only thing I wanted to go into today was Satanism in the media, right? And more specifically in Babylon the Great, and some of the distinguishing factors of how we know for a fact that this is Babylon the Great, and how you can prove it without a shadow of a doubt. It's very easy from the beginning, from the creation, from the inception of this nation, right? And also, since we smack dab in the middle of the Feast of Dedication, all right, all praises to the Most High for that. We're going to be moving in the spirit and looking at the menorah breakdown. And we're going to understand why we have a certain menorah and why the so-called Jewish man has a certain menorah, right? These are things that you need to be able to understand. You need to be able to break down. All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into it. Boaz, if you got anything to say, go ahead, family. I'm just gonna be pulling this up in the background. Hey, can you see anything on that, Judah?
I was about to say, if you want to send it to me, go ahead and send it to me, and I can do it. Is it a PowerPoint file,
Yeah, Khan.
or is it? Send it to me anyway. I can make something happen.
All right, Khan.
Send it to me anyway. Yeah, it's not coming up right now.
All right.
All right. Hey, but while we doing that, listen, we're a brand new camp. All right. So, if you would like to help us out, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna be having feast days, the whole 9 yards, Passover, tabernacles, the whole 9 yards is what we're gonna be doing. So if you would like to help us push the word, definitely you could definitely help us by sending your donations through Cashapp. There you go. You can help us out by sending your donations through Cashapp at AnointedHOS. All right, on Cashapp, AnointedHOS. We appreciate it. We're gonna try to do right by any donations that come in and try to make sure we are able to have the feast of the Lord and all those good things. And it also helps to bring other brothers in to this truth if they want to do the work with us. It helps us bring in brothers as well. So we definitely appreciate anything, you know what I'm saying, you brothers and sisters help us out with in that sense. So now the brother got his presentation ready. I'm gonna yield to the brother.
Khan. So hey, all right, like we said, AHS or AHOS, all right, House of Saints. All right. Same materials as always. You're gonna need your Bible, your apocrypha, and your notepad. Okay. And we're gonna get started right here. So first, let's deal with what the law says about witchcraft and divination. Right. These are laws that we don't often go into because we kind of take it as a given. Even in Christianity, a lot of our people had a disdain for witchcraft and things like that. But we know that our Benjamite brothers and sisters, we know that some of our Levite brothers and sisters, right? They may have a closer relationship with these things. So let's go ahead and get these precepts and let them roll real quick. Exodus 22 and 18.
Hey, boys, you get that? I'm gonna answer this question really, really quick. I don't want to ignore the brother's question.
Yeah, you good.
The brother said, he follows SOT. His brother's from both sides that I'm learning from. How do I know who to prospect with? You fast and pray with that about that. That's what you do, brother. Hey, that's what you do. Fast and pray. You know what I'm saying? You can still learn from both organizations. It ain't no love lost, bro. It
Yeah,
ain't.
that's right.
It's not no love lost. It's not one of them type of parties. You see what I'm saying? So you fast and pray, get to know some of the brothers and see who your spirit resonates with. And the doctrine's the same. It's just a different shirt.
Hey, that's
Point
right.
blank period. The doctrine's the same as a different shirt, brother. So don't stress yourself out, King. I
Hey,
promise
that's
you.
right.
Don't stress yourself out. All right. Let's get it.
Khan.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 22, and verse 18. It says, Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live.
Hey, so in the scripture, not only is witchcraft forbidden, but you're not even supposed to let a witch live. Now, we talking about in the kingdom, obviously, right? You within the walls of Jerusalem, within the walls of Israel as a nation, and you in a situation where you can judge matters, right? You have elders, you have executioners, X, Y, and Z. You have judges, you have princes that can judge a matter like that, right? But our people, we was not even supposed to let that type of situation live. Like, you're not even supposed to let that woman or man live if they practicing witchcraft, right? Let's get this next one. And these are just going to be the backbone for us to understand what we're going into. Levi 19 and 26.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
It reads, Ye shall not eat anything with the blood,
All
neither
right.
shall ye use enchantment nor observe times.
Come on. Oh, Salaki, we're gonna stop right there. So you should not eat anything with the blood. So we've seen in Hollywood movies depictions and things like that where people are drinking blood, doing rituals with blood, eating raw foods. That's supposed to give them some type of left hand energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know that the Most High God has forbid these activities. And not only that, he said, neither shall you use enchantment or observe times, right? So let's go into what observing times means. All right.
So like
Con, go ahead.
I know one thing a lot of people see, they talk about a lot of actors and stuff like that. They still look young because they use the blood of children or something crazy like that.
Hey, that's right.
You know, that's one of those things that it's talking about. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? And the Most High says we ain't supposed to do that.
hey, that's right. And you know, the Kardashian family, some of
Mm,
them will do like blood facials. They'll take, I don't know where they get the blood from, right? I ain't gonna sit up here and falsely accuse nobody, but I don't know where they get the blood from, but they do a blood facial. They let the blood dry up on their face and then they peel it off. Like,
mm,
what type of witchcraft is that, man? Right? So when you go into the Bible Hub and you say Leviticus 19:26 interlinear, that word for observing times is soothsaying. Soothsaying. And it says observe signs, right? Now let's think about what this means. And it can mean a couple of different things, right? Because we got to kind of read into it. But when you go down and it says observe the signs or omens, and a lot of people, what they'll do is, in a superstitious fashion, they'll look outside and be like, "Oh man, you see where the sun is at? Like this is the perfect." Like this is why when you watch those Disney movies, why they always do their rituals on the full moon, right? They always do their rituals on the full moon. They
mm,
always wait until the planets are in alignment. Why they always bringing that up? Because
Right, right.
they observing the times,
right,
right? They observing those things. Now we pay attention to the new moon. We have to focus on the new moon. The scripture says that the moon is a sign of feast.
right.
So now somebody may ask, does that mean that you observing times? Right? A Christian might ask that. And
Mm,
what we have to look at is we're observing the times based on what they were created for. Let's go to the book of Genesis. Let's look at Genesis 1 and verse 14, I believe it is.
I got it.
Yep, Con.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 14. And Yahweh said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and
Come
let
on.
them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
Now, that word right there for seasons is going to be the Hebrew word moedim, right? So the word moedim means appointed times.
mm-hmm.
So your moon, your lights in the sky is going to tell you when the appointed times are. And the reason we know that is because when the first of the month come, that's your new moon. And then from there, all right, cool. Today's the first. So that means 14 days from now going to be the 15th. And then we can start the Feast of Tabernacle or X, Y, and Z, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the difference between us observing times and them observing times. I just wanted to point that out for everybody.
So like you.
Con, go ahead.
Another thing is we observe the times to exalt the Most High's feast days.
That's
They
right.
observe the times to do a sacrifice. You know
Or
what I'm
some type
saying?
of left hand
Or-
activity. That's right.
right. To something evil, right? For their own whatever type of gain, whether it's more life or something like that.
That's
We
right.
observe the times to exalt the Most High and give Him the increase. So
Hey, that's right.
I
That's
yield.
right, man. Because the scripture says day and night. You know what I'm saying? I will pray. Like, so
Con,
evening, day, and night. So, yo, if I'm gonna be praying without ceasing, anything I'm observing in the sky is to remember to give the most high his due credit on the days he asked for.
That's
con,
right.
con, everyone.
So let's go ahead and get Leviticus 20 and 27 real quick and Deuteronomy 18 and 10. I just want to give y'all a background of what the Torah says about witchcraft and divination. Then we can get into the actual breakdown.
Con, this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
A man also or woman that have a familiar spirit or that is a wizard shall surely be put to death.
Mm.
They shall stone them with stones, their blood shall be upon them.
Hey, you see that? Once again, you commanded to kill this person. Now, if you moving in today's time, obviously we not telling you to go kill nobody. Israelites is not teaching nobody to kill nobody, right? We saying, yo, you cannot be around this type of activity. In today's time, killing somebody would be like, yo, I gotta get away from this brother. He tripping, right? I'm not gonna be sitting in a room while you doing some damn magic spell.
Pulling out the Ouija board.
Yeah, hey, and for real, I'm almost not even gonna be in the room you watching the wrong movie.
Right.
No, I'm definitely not.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you
I'm
know what I
out.
mean? Like, I ain't about to have nobody demons jump out the TV on me, dog.
Yeah, I'm
No,
good.
I'm good.
Know what I mean? So, all right, let's get Deuteronomy 18 and 10 real quick. That's gonna be my last one on that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18 and verse 10. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch,
Come on.
or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer.
Come on.
Verse 12. For all that do these things are an
Mm.
abomination unto the Lord.
So not only are the acts an abomination, but the people who do these things are an abomination.
Mm-hmm.
You see that? So it's not the Most High hates the sin, loves the sinner. Nah, the scriptures don't say that.
Right.
Nowhere it says that.
It don't say that nowhere. You just made that up, right? You an abomination to the Most High God, and that's why your prayers can't be heard. So if you are doing this, if you are doing any of these activities, you need to pray to the Most High, fast to the Most High, and ask him to forgive you and start moving towards the right hand side, man.
Right.
Right now, let's get into how close we are, because we all live in Babylon the Great. Let's get Revelation 18 and 21 real quick. We all live in Babylon the Great, and since we live there, Babylon the Great has been prophesied that not only is sorceries and witchcrafts would be very powerful, but that those sorceries and witchcrafts would influence the entire world. So now your job is 10 times harder because of the people who are in power. All right, go ahead.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all.
Come on.
And the voice of harpers and musicians, and of pipers and trumpeters, shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee.
So verse 22 just telling you total destruction, right? It ain't gonna be nobody left. It ain't gonna be nobody singing no songs, none of that. All that's over with. When the Most High overthrow this place, and we patiently wait for that, right? Because the kingdom will be given to the saints. But when the Most High overthrow this place, it's finished. It ain't gonna be no more rising up, right? Hit them with 23 and 24 real quick. This is the point.
Time. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee, for all thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived,
Mm.
and in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth.
Hey, you see that? So in Babylon the Great was found the blood of the prophets and the saints and all those who were slain in the earth, man. Right? And not to mention, it says, thy merchants were great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. So
Mhm.
the type of sorceries and the type of witchcraft that this nation that we in right now is committing is all around you, and they got the whole world deceived. And I'm gonna give you one easy example of this: Christmas.
Right.
Yo, I used to live in Japan. We go to the mall. It's a big Christmas tree in Japan in the mall. Why?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Japanese people, their culture is totally different. Why you got a Christmas tree?
Right.
Because they've been influenced by who? By Babylon the Great, man.
Hey, I was just in the mall and I seen families in pajamas, Hispanics,
Hey, that's right.
Indians, so-called black people, just you know what I'm saying? The kids, the kids wouldn't stop crying because they scared of the pedophile in the seat. And now the mommy and daddy getting in the picture, just smiling like, and I was just sitting there thinking like, yo, we in the twilight zone. We don't know no better.
Hey, that's right.
It's crazy, man.
That's right, because they perfected it. Yo, back in the day, back in the scriptures tell you should not suffer a witch to live. And I bet you back then people knew when somebody was a witch. I bet you. Like people probably knew somebody was a witch. But now walking up and down the street, you don't know who a witch, man.
Right.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you don't even know what witchcraft is because you think they gotta look like the Disney witch. They gotta have a long nose with a big wart on it,
And
and
a
they gotta
broom
wear that weird hat.
and a
the,
broom.
the pointy
Yeah,
hat.
and they
With a
just walk
broom.
everywhere with the broom. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Our people simple because we don't understand. Well, it's something powerful that brother Judah brought out at camp, right? And this is the term. It's called a social norm.
Come.
And a social norm is a collectively held belief about what type of behavior is appropriate in a given situation. So let me give you an understanding of this. When you go to certain neighborhoods, there's no trash on the ground, right? It's normal for there not to be any trash on the ground. But certain neighborhoods you go to, right? Downtown Columbia, South Carolina, right? Atlanta, we done seen this. Certain places in Greensboro, Raleigh, Durham, it's just trash on the ground. Like, don't nobody care. Matter of fact, the food line down the street from my house, we go up, or the Walmart down the street from my house, trash everywhere. It's like, yo, don't nobody clean the trash. But it's normal. So when you eating a burger and you got a wrapper in your hand and you get done with that burger, you see all that trash, you're like, who cares? Because it's normal. It's a social norm. Well, it was things in our culture back in the day that was normal for us to do. And it's things that is normal for people to do now. And that creates a pressure within your culture for you to act in a certain manner.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we've all seen this. For instance, you was in high school and you know you can't just come in high school dressed any type of way. You just know that. Because it's a social norm. But guess what? Certain countries ain't like that. You go to damn Afghanistan or something like that, they barely have public schools. You know what I'm saying? And then you go to the school, it's like, yo, they just happy you got clothes on. Like,
Right.
it's a whole different time that people on because it's a different social norm. Well, let's get Exodus 23 and 2 real quick because it's a lot of things that's normal here in America that you're not supposed to get normal with. You're not supposed to get familiar with.
Con. This is the book of Exodus, chapter Salakia. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 2.
Con.
Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment.
Hey, just because a multitude is doing it, don't mean that you have to approve of it. Right? And that's where it's difficult because a lot of the times as humans, we see 5, 10 people going one way. You know, black people, we see somebody running and everybody start running. We ain't about to stick around and start asking questions. We just gonna run. Right? But that can negatively impact us as well because if we see everybody going to do something wicked, a lot of the time we'll have the tendency to be like, well, you know, ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody doing it.
Right.
And in a lot of the things I'm gonna bring out here in this lesson, you're gonna see that. But that's the reason why our people celebrate Christmas because it's a normal thing for them. It's a social norm. Right. They don't celebrate it because they understand it. Khan, go ahead.
No, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, Khan. I was gonna say they don't celebrate Christmas because they understand it and they know the breakdown. They understand it because everybody doing it. Right? They celebrate it because everybody else is celebrating it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's look at this dude right here. Read that right there, Boaz.
This is Manly P. Hall, Manly Palmer Hall, March 18th, 1901 through August 29th, 1990, was a Canadian author, lecturer, astrologer, and mystic
Hey, hold
over.
up. Hey, hold up. He was an astrologer and mystic. He
Mm-hmm.
was an observer of the times.
God.
Right? Come on.
His 70-year career, he gave thousands of lectures, including two at Carnegie Hall, and published over 150 volumes, of which the best known is The Secret Teachings of All Ages,
Okay.
1928.
Hey, you see that? This dude right here wrote a book called The Secret Teachings of All Ages. People like Aleister Crowley reference his books,
Mm.
right? So, and this dude, he's not no low level guy. Like, he not just a guy who was just into this stuff. He's like 33-degree Mason, top initiate in most secret societies of that time, and wrote about them in depth, right? And people like Aleister Crowley is like, yo, I look up to you, right? Look at one of the quotes, right? It says Secret Destiny of America. So this is the book that you see on the right-hand side here, right? This is one of the things he says. Pagans vowed to destroy the Christian church from within. Now, we bring this out all the time. Christianity is not the religion of the Bible. It's not. It's not the culture of the Bible. It's not the system of the Bible. Christianity is heavily influenced by paganism. And in this book, he breaks down word for word how that happened. And one of the quotes that he says, about halfway down this paragraph, it says, Mr. Hall states in his book, The Secret Destiny of America, that the rise of Christianity brought persecution of the pagans and it drove them underground. So these occultists redressed their philosophy in Christian sounding terms, right? Virgin birth, because we know that that pre-exists the Bible. The virgin birth comes from uh, Kemetic sciences and things like that, right? Their mythological systems. Uh, Different things like the water baptism that you have to be saved. It's like a ritual now. You know what I'm saying? Things that the Bible is not teaching. They found a way to intertwine that into Christian doctrine, and they just use Christian terms. Right? The second thing it says, in this matter, mystics sought to destroy the church from within, and they continue to promote this agenda today. And he goes into that in this book, right? And there's also a reason why he got the pyramid with the all-seeing eye. So we're gonna get into it. He said, when the human race learns to read the language of symbolism, a great veil will fall from the eyes of men. And this is what's wrong with our Christian brothers and sisters. Yo, you should be able to look at a Christmas tree and be like, that ain't right. You should be able to do that. But the reason our people can't do that is because we're in disbelief and we trust this system far too much. All right. And y'all let me know if I'm not clear or something like that. All right.
Are you fine, King?
All right, Khan. The next thing he said is symbolism is the language of the mysteries. By symbols, men have ever sought to communicate with each other those things which transcend the limitations of language. And we see that. We see that in our culture. When I see a brother, fringes is a symbol. When I see a brother with fringes on, it communicates a lot of things to me. It communicates, number one, he an Israelite, right? He or she is an Israelite. Number two, they believe the Bible enough to follow the Bible, right? Number three, it communicates to me that I'm not alone. Like, do you see how many things it communicates? And that's only the first three things I can think of off the top of my head. So symbols are very powerful. So when we use things like the lily, the pomegranate, Christians try to use the Christian cross. All these symbols have deep roots in other religious philosophies, right? So now we're going to show you some of the idols and sorceries that go on here in this nation and in the media, right? And I'm actually fly through this because it's a lot of information. Like, we could actually do a full lecture on this information. What you're looking at right now is the goddess Columbia. and you can Google this. Columbia is a goddess that was created to be worshipped basically as the representation of America. A lot of people don't know this, and it was on coins. As you see this silver dollar here, or quarter, or whatever that is, on the right hand side, dated 1945. Columbia was on that, and that's the same lady from Columbia Pictures, same lady from Columbia Records, same lady from Statue of Liberty. Right? We can go all day. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get the brother Judah. I dropped a video in the Thursday night chat if you can.
Okay. Con.
I meant to
You
tell
want
you
the
that.
story of the goddess of Columbia?
Yep.
Okay, con. Give me
Yep.
one
And
second.
I'm gonna bring this down for a second.
All right, give me 1 second. Boom. All right, I'm gonna bring this onto the screen. Boom, boom, boom. You let me know when you're ready, King.
Yep, you got it.
All right, let's get it.
Got an email from somebody saying, I noticed on one show you did this week, you referred to D.C., where you are, as the city of the goddess. I'm curious about why you did that. This was somebody who has not listened to the show apparently for years and years, because it's been probably a year since I went off on one of these rants. I know that our show has been growing quite a bit, and we've got a lot of new listeners. So I'll just tell you the story real quickly. One of the things that I love about living in the District of the Goddess is that it's the District of the Goddess. And this is something that prior to the Civil War, pretty much every American knew. And largely since the Civil War, or since that era, pretty much nobody knows. There's a couple of great history books over at the Spy Museum here in Washington, D.C. about this, and you can find them in other places. But the Spy Museum has a great library of kind of obscure and arcane and reprints of old books and things. But here's the story. And it, parts of it may be apocryphal. I don't have absolute nailed down proof of all of this, but there's an enormous body of evidence and suggestions that it's all fairly accurate. Back when this country was formed, the idea of the founders, particularly Franklin, Jefferson, and Madison, and to some extent John Jay and James and John Adams, but particularly Franklin, Jefferson, and Madison, they were kind of a triumvirate. They were patterning America on three democratic institutions.
Hey, pause it right there.
Greeks.
All right. So, and we can get into this. Like I said, it's mad research and documentation behind this. Like you said, it's very easy and accessible. He's going to name three democratic societies. And the word democratic just meaning that the people can vote and they have representatives that actually carry the votes out, basically, right? So he's going to name off three democratic societies and watch what he says when he brings it up. And keep in mind that people think that America is a Christian nation, right? Keep that in mind. If this was a Christian nation, how can your inception be the story that he's about to tell right now? All right, go ahead.
The first democracy 3,000 years ago. On the ancient Romans, the first republic 2,000 years ago. And on the Iroquois Confederacy, which had a constitution, a three-branch form of government with a Supreme Court, a legislature, and an executive. And only one gender was allowed to vote in 5 out of the 6 Iroquois nations. Now, for the Iroquois, it was women who were allowed to vote, not men. The founders of this country thought, well, we can do the same thing, only we'll make it men instead of women. But the thing that they noticed was that all three of these historic democratic republics that they were patterning America after had goddesses in addition to gods. And we had no goddesses. We had, God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit, and they're all male. Or at least God and Jesus are typically portrayed as having penises. And it was like, okay, we got plenty of gods. Where is the goddess? And they didn't want to take, Zeus's helpmate or some Roman god. So they created one. They literally invented a goddess out of whole cloth. They took Christopher Columbus's name and they feminized it. And they named her Columbia. They put her on our coins during the George Washington administration, and she stayed on our coins until Ronald Reagan's administration. Reagan killed the goddess. He took her off our coins. But from George Washington until the 1980s, there was that woman on our quarters and on our half dollars and on our silver dollars. She was called Standing Liberty, Walking Liberty, the Goddess of Liberty, Ms. Independence. There are other names for her, but she's basically the goddess. They put her on top of the Capitol building, and they passed a law that no building in the Capitol.
All right, we're going to stop there. We're going to drop that, and I'm going to pull it back up, right? So, and once again, that's just breadcrumbs that'll lead you to further research. But I wanted to show you that because, once again, this is something that we don't think about. When we see the representation of Uncle Sam, or when we see the representation of Columbia in the Columbia pictures and things like that, we don't immediately think of idolatry because it's a social norm. It's something we got used to, right? I forgot what they said. It's a stupid number. Like 200 million people a year visit the Statue of Liberty, right? We surpassing the numbers that the ancient world could dream about. Like, that many people would never have a chance to come see damn Jupiter statue in Greece or something like that, right? So the type of idolatry and the level that they've made it to is unprecedented in world history. Just more proofs that this has to be Babylon the Great, right? As you see here, Statue of Liberty. Okay. And now I got the little spinning wheel. There we go. Columbia Pictures, right? Same thing. I always used to ask myself, what does that stone tablet represent that she's holding? Right? What do y'all think? I want to see what y'all think in the chat. What do y'all think that stone tablet is? I know what it says. Don't tell me what it says. Tell me what it represents. Right? These are things we should know because we live in this nation. All right? We live in this nation, and a lot of our people will fight and die for this nation and don't know the images and the symbolism behind the stuff they have.
One, don't they have like a black kind of like Statue of Liberty somewhere?
They got a bunch of statues of liberty. When I was in Japan, they have a Statue of Liberty in Japan. It's in Tokyo. Yeah, I mean, they got a bunch of them. I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't seen a black one myself. But if you can find it, let me know, please. But you know what?
I'm gonna see if I can send it to Judah real quick.
That statue is bronze. That statue is bronze, but it turned that greenish color over time.
Right.
So look at this, right? What you see on the right-hand side is the seal of Columbia University. And what you see here is what they call the Baphomet, right? Now I want you to look at how they're sitting. They're sitting in a chair. They got children surrounding them. We're going to break down that seal a little bit later in this class. And then we're going to get some more precepts, obviously. But, yo, we're trying to show you the level of idolatry they will go to. They will stop nowhere. That's how we know this is Babylon the Great. You go to an Islamic country or an Arab country and show me Arabs doing this.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Right? Look at this, George Washington. Now look at who's on the left right here. Look who on the left. Kylie Jenner posted this. Now, first of all, if my kid draws some shit like this, we're gonna have a problem.
You gotta go. That's what you gotta do.
Hey, right? Hey, look what it said. It said my 7-year-old little brother just drew this. What does this mean? And somebody at the bottom said, it means he not your brother anymore. Get out the house. I'm telling you, yo, like, who draws something like that? But she thought it was funny enough to put up. Now,
I wonder why.
Yeah, right. And once again, we already know what type of time they on over there on their side. But if you look at all of these statues, you're looking at the right hand pointing up, the left hand kind of angled down. You see that? George Washington has some papers in his hand. This is Columbia, a representation of the goddess Columbia She got some papers in her hand, right? And we're gonna break all this down. So I want to show y'all something. And the sources at the bottom, you can go to columbiamedicinemagazine.org and they will break it down for you. They will break the seal down for you. And that's where I got my information on this from. So it says it draws on the Hebrew, Greek, Latin, and both Hebrew and Christian scriptures, as well as Greek mythology. Somebody get me 2 Corinthians 6:14.
Con, I'm gonna share this this picture also that
Con, you got it.
Boaz did. You know, just to put it out there, I guess. Real quick. Hold on. If you got that scripture, go ahead and bring it out.
Con, it's the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 6 and verse 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion have light with darkness?
Hey, how you gonna marry Greek scripture or Christian scriptures with Greek mythology?
Right.
In the same speech, in the same, like, yo, they went down to putting Latin words on there and Hebrew words, and they got a scripture at the bottom. Right? There's no limit to what the white man will do. All right, go ahead. You can bring it up.
Oh no, I just briefly showed it. That's all.
Okay, I ain't even see it. You showed it on your screen.
Yeah, I got you. I'll show it one more time.
Yeah, there's a piece on the top of it. Hold on, Adawan. I'm gonna send you this. Because there's a piece, something that it was saying, but I'm gonna let him pull it up and then I'll read it if I can, Baba Cashapp.
Go ahead. You talking about at the bottom?
Well, it's on the top of the picture. Like, it's like I had to search for this because I know it says something at the top talking about like it was the original statue, but it says the first Statue of Liberty was given to the U.S. by France was a black woman, which the U.S. rejected. France replaced it with the version currently in New York Harbor. The Black Lady Liberty, also created by France, sits on the island of St. Martin.
Oh, so it's still around.
Kind.
That's heavy. That's heavy. I would love to look into the symbolism of that, right? That's heavy. All right. I'm gonna switch back to the other one.
Consulaki.
Let me know when you up. Cause I can't see both screens.
No, you good. You back on yours.
All right, Khan. Yo, check this out. They tell you who designed it. It was designed by a Trinitarian. He's a pastor, some pastor somewhere. Right? Works for the University of Columbia. This is the danger in Christian theology, because y'all don't understand that you're in idolatry and your doctrine allows it. This is the problem. This is why we got to go so hard against Christianity. Right? Because it will produce documents like this. The central figure is a majestic maternal figure. Go ahead and get Proverbs 2:11 real quick. It says the central figure sitting in the chair right here is a majestic figure surrounded by young babes. Now, we saw it in the picture on the last slide. The Baphomet is also surrounded by young babes, right? Very interesting that they use the same symbology there. But it's surrounded by young babes she is educating. She holds a book in her right hand with the Greek words Logia Zanta, which roughly translated mean living oracle or living words.
That's right.
So this demon got a book in her hand with a living word. Come on, man. Hey, get that Proverbs 2:11, man. These people wilding. And then jump down to 16.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 2, and verse 11. And it reads, discretion shall preserve thee, and understanding shall keep thee. Verse 16, to deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger, with flattereth with her words.
Hey, she flattering with her so-called living words. She's the strange woman. That's the woman that you're supposed to be far away from. Right? But when you in Christianity and you don't understand what the light is and what the dark is, then you just stumbling around in the dark and you know not at what you stumble. Right? As the scripture says. Now, hey, Boaz, get 1 Peter 2:1. Because that scripture is shown here at the bottom, right under her feet. It says 2 Peter 2:1. Yo, like I said, it don't get no higher in blasphemy than this right here.
2 Peter 2:1.
1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 1. My fault.
Okay. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
Hey, so she's saying, come to her for the sincere milk of the word. Hey, and like I said before, the so-called white man truly believes this. Because when we teach in the Bible and we teaching people, yo, you got to learn these laws, statutes, and commandments. You got to do this. You got to do that. People scoff at us and say we don't know what we're talking about. And then they say in the same breath, come on down to our church. We'll teach you what the real breakdown is, right? You got the Vocab Malones, the James Whites, the Pastor Eric Masons, right? That follow those other theologians in pointing you back to this and saying, yo, we got the sincere milk. Because to me, it should be impossible for a Trinitarian to draw something like this. That should be impossible. But, you know, we see the world we live in. Look at this. If you look at one of the statues, and I don't have a picture of it, I should have had it on here. If you look at one of the statues of Columbia, it has the word alma mater. Have y'all ever heard that? When you graduate from a college, they'd be like, yo, that's my alma mater. You know what that term alma mater means in Latin? It means nourishing mother. And the maternal figure nourishes her children. Once again, this is their breakdown. I didn't put this together. This is their breakdown. I just copy and pasted it on here. Get Mark 3 and 35 real quick.
It's the book of Mark chapter 3 and verse 35. For whosoever shall do the will of God, the same is my brother and my sister and mother.
Hey, so ain't no way this demon gonna be my mother, man. Like, what you talking about? Right? And even when you think about it and you go into a university or a college or something like that, and you calling that your alma mater, basically they trying to say like they nourished you in all of this type stuff. And really, in reality, when you get out into the job field or you get out into your career, you don't even use half that stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
It really what they leaning on and talking about is the indoctrination. That's what they really talking about. The indoctrination they gave you. So I just wanted to point that out and show y'all that these people are blatant with their idolatry and blatant with their Satanism. Right? Now look at what this says. And we're not going to get those precepts, but it says the seated female figure is based on Athena, the Greek goddess, among other things, of wisdom. And we know the scriptures speak of Hamashiach Yahushua as being wisdom.
Right.
Right? So another red flag, right? Yet again, a Trinitarian trying to tell us that we should be worshiping this nation. Now, I want you to see, do you see anything? Did you see that, Boaz? Did you see anything change on the screen?
Malaa.
All right, look at Columbia and look above her head.
As far as the modern Hebrew?
Yeah, but do you see the word they put there? That word right there is what they call the tetragrammaton. Yod Hey Wav Hey. They put that on the same seal as they put Columbia. Who would do that? Who is this evil, bro? Out front, in your face. Even though the Most High God said, you shall have no other gods before me, Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. They said, well, you know, that ain't really what he's talking about. Them Hebrew Israelites don't know what they're talking about. right? And then they'll turn around and say America is a Christian nation. We've been a Christian nation since the beginning. So I'm just trying to show y'all how wicked they are. And Colombia is everywhere. You almost can't watch a movie without seeing the Columbia Records or the Columbia picture thing come up, right? CBS is owned by Columbia. Let's get into some more of the stuff that they do, right? Did y'all know that Nike was named after a Greek god? Did you know that?
Kind of one.
Hey, and I got on a Nike hoodie right now, right? For this very reason. So Nike
Brother
co-founder
wicked,
Phil.
man.
Hey, here you go. So Nike co-founder Phil Knight was adamant that his company's new logo be a simple design that is fluid and conveys motion and speed. The logo is also said to symbolize the wing of the Greek goddess of victory. So that swoosh, and I'm gonna pull it up, but that swoosh is actually the wing. A lot of us thought it was like a check or something else. It's a wing. That's why when you look at the Air Jordan symbol, the early Air Jordan symbol that was on the ones, the retro ones, it's got the wings under the basketball right there. Right? Now maybe we reaching, maybe we reaching. But let's look at what the word Nike means. In Greek mythology, Nike was a goddess who personified victory in any field, including art, music, war, and athletics. She is also portrayed in Greek art as winged victory in the motion of flight. However, she can also appear without wings as wingless victory when she is portrayed as an attribute of another deity such as Athena. Again, funny, right? They keep bringing us back to Athena. Check this out. That right there is an ancient statue of the goddess of victory called Nike. Now, you tell me if I'm reaching here. You tell me if I'm reaching. Right? You tell me if I'm reaching. Right? And we have Michael Jordan, who is the biggest poster for Nike that we will probably ever have. Right? And he's stretched to the side. And what do they always say about Mike? Like he can fly. You know, you got the Jumpman Jordans. You know
Wait. When he made that last leap in Space Jam, when he stretched. Oh, no. When he won the game and he was getting off that spaceship onto the baseball field, what song was they playing?
Hey, I believe I can fly. That's right. You see what I'm saying? I me personally, I don't believe that that's on accident. I don't believe that's on accident. And actually, I will go even further and say they are still having us worship their gods. They're just using a different image.
Hey, Slakia. If you ask me, I think Clyde Drexler he was the glide, man. I think he had the hops. Him or Earl Manigault.
Yeah, hey, Clyde Drexler.
Who are these people?
See, look, you're gonna lose the young brothers, man.
God.
Right? Who are these people?
Wow.
Hey, Daryl Dawkins, come on, man, you better stop.
Who are these people?
But look, Michael Jordan. When we think about flying, when we think about somebody who just and people say he's the GOAT, right? You know, I'm just throwing some things out here for you to think about. Put it in your spirit. So now Beyonce in the Ape Shit video, she's dancing in front of the statue of Nike. That's the statue of Nike in the Louvre Museum, and you can kind of see the wings behind her, right?
Con.
So that's
Shalom, you're right.
Hey, Khan, Shalom, family, Shalom. All right. And we know Beyonce on some other stuff, right? So right here on the right, you're looking at 2017 Grammy Awards when Beyonce came out and performed, and people was damn worshiping Beyonce on stage in the public. And she was dressed up like Mithras, which is the god of fertility and all this type of stuff. She got, or a sun god. I believe
Right.
it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Now
she
she
got
might be the god of
impregnated.
fertility. Did she
And the god of fertility, right?
but I said, did she announce her pregnancy kind of sort of that way?
Yeah, Khan, that's right. She was pregnant in this picture.
Yep.
That's right. And people are actually worshiping her on stage, right? Another well-known company, right? Is Sprite. Now we're gonna get back into the scriptures, but I just want to show y'all how deeply entrenched we are here in our society, and we so idolatrous here in America that it has influenced the entire earth, just as it said in Revelation chapter 18. Right? If we look up what a sprite is a supernatural entity in European mythology. Funny that it's European mythology.
Mhm.
That's what we always go back to. We always go back to the Romans. We always go back to the Greeks. So when we tell you that these same people we're dealing with today are those same people, it shouldn't be a stretch, right? But it says they are often depicted as a fairy-like creature or ethereal entity. The word sprite is derived from the Latin spiritus, spirit, right? And that's what it goes into. Well, what you see here is Doja Cat is on here, and she's supposed to be like a sprite or a fairy type of thing. That's why she's depicted with the horns and the wings. And then I forgot who this demon down here on the bottom is. I forgot her name. Her name is like Bella Hadid or something. She a supermodel.
Mm.
Right? Once again, why you want to portray yourself as a demon with horns? I don't understand. Right? This is an ancient depict, or not an ancient depiction, but this is a drawing of a sprite. Right? It's like a fairy, little white lady, naked, half naked with the wings. Right? So that brings the question: where they get the picture of the angels from? Like where these little white angels that fly around, they be naked. Where they come from? Right? That don't come from the scriptures. That come from the idolatry and the mythology that these people are dealing with. All right. I'm not gonna go into that. I got some extra slides, but this stuff right here is Travis Scott, man. Right? Astral projection, being in the astral plane, like on Doctor Strange. Notice he looked like the Hindu god right here with all the arms. You know what I'm saying? We can go into all that. I wanted to bring that out though, because the astral plane or the astral world is a plane of existence postulated by classical, medieval, oriental, and esoteric philosophies and mystery religions, going back to Manly P. Hall, right? He's one of those people. But when you think about it, it's a play on words because Travis Scott had a concert called Astro World. And in the Astro World, he was supposed to be going through a portal, as you see here on this picture, and being sucked into a brand new universe. And as we know, a lot of people die and a lot of nefarious actions happen at that concert. I mean, look at the symbology, right? You got the evil hand with the eye in the middle. You got all these single eyes. You got a portal here, like sucking people into the portal. And then this is what the stage look like, right? So what you looking at is Satanism right in front of you. You're looking at other religious ideologies and practices being played out on a big scale right in front of you. All the way from the creation of this nation to the media and the pop culture and the video games, everything.
It's like, yeah, Juan, is it me or does that look kind of like a pyramid?
Hey, so it's a mountain.
Okay.
It's a mountain with a hole in the middle, and that hole is supposed to be a portal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And one of the things, you see this? This is what it looked like before he came out. It was a countdown. So basically, if y'all remember what happened at the Astro World concert, people were trampled and like 10, 15 people died, something like that, including children and everything. And they was going to bring Travis Scott up on charges. I need to check and see what came of that because I don't think anything ever came of it.
Wow.
But the brother Travis Scott was up there singing his song, man. The ambulance was there in front of him, wheeling people out, and he's still singing the song. Like this dude was bugged out. He might have been on something or he might have planned it. I mean, I ain't gonna, I don't know, but it's crazy. And So as it's counting down and he about to come out, it says, "See you on the other side." Why? Because that's supposed to be a portal. Everybody supposed to get sucked into the portal. It's like a play on words, right? Here you can see the same stage, but it's like hands on top of it now. You see that? So it makes it look like a crystal ball. So I mean, the level of witchcraft and demonology these people is into is crazy. It's beyond your understanding, I promise you. And so when you have your children sitting around that Christmas tree writing letters to damn Santa Claus, you know what I'm saying? Wake up from your slumber and understand that your child just wrote a letter to Satan. And you not only are you writing a letter to Satan, but you're practicing necromancy. You're writing to a dead saint of the Catholic Church, of the Catholic religion. Right? Yo, I don't know if y'all family members have children. If your family members have children that play this game Fortnite is another example. Fortnite, you know, they'll have creatures like this, right? Little demon creatures like this, but Travis Scott was on there. So during the Astro World catastrophe, Travis Scott was on there, and it was like a big like you download Travis Scott and then he come in and you got to defeat these monsters and all this stuff and save the world and all that stuff. And there's portals on that game and everything like that too, but they're indoctrinating the children. Right? And as of 2022, Fortnite has about 80.4 million active users and 4 million concurrent daily players. Right? So it's not nothing that, once again, the level of Revelation 18 we looking at now is unprecedented. At what point in time in human history have you had 80 million people be initiated into anything?
Hey, and I want to add to that, right?
Con.
When I saw how big that game was a few years ago when it came out, I'm like, yo, how much does it cost? Right. Everybody, what you mean? You just download it. It's free.
Yeah.
Since when does something that big is just free?
That's right.
And now, like when you said that, when you pulled it up, I'm like, yo, that's why that joint got so big so fast. It was free.
That's right.
It was free, and it was indoctrinating the people unknowingly. Well, they knew what they were doing, but our people were unknowingly being indoctrinated. And if you look at the alien beside Travis Scott and the alien, they got a cross on. Look like.
Yeah, this one in the middle, damn sure got a cross on.
And Travis Scott got one on.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like, they just handing stuff out for free.
That's right.
Handing out indoctrination for free. That's crazy.
And our people take it gladly because we don't know no better. Right? Look at this. Travis Scott, not only to make it, hey, if we want to stack our research, right? Because maybe we reaching, right? Travis Scott last Air Jordan collaboration set a Nike record. And guess what? I'm into flipping shoes and I'm into like buying shoes and selling them and stuff like that. The Travis Scotts, when they dropped, the retail was like $200, $250. The resale price on them junks like $600-$700 on the Travis Scott shoes. So yeah, you do the math on that. It's not a lot of people that's not athletes with a Nike deal.
Right.
So just think about that. Last thing I want to show you is Netflix got this TV, or not Netflix, but FX got this TV show called Little Demon. Hey, the trailer for this one, one's in the Thursday night chat. Yeah, pull that up. The people got to see this one. And then we're going to get into this Menorah breakdown. Right? Y'all got to see this. Once again, there's no limit to what Esau will do.
Shoes should come with a content warning. What a waste.
New girl, say hi to the world.
The sky over a local junior high has torn open.
Mom, get in! So some are putting this off. Your dad is the devil, and you're the Antichrist.
I'm supposed to accept that you had sex with Satan or anyone?
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Hey, we can stop right there. because I don't want to get a strike.
Gave me in.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. But do you see this, man? This is madness. This is the level. This is the level to which Esau will go, right? To indoctrinate your children and to bring you over to the left hand side, man. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, I've watched 5 movies this year that had either a reference or it actually had a sacrifice in the movie. Like that's how fast they coming out. It's a movie called it's a TV series called The Watchers.
Mm.
And these people is like watching these people's house. And for some reason they believe that there's like a secret cult of people at the bottom of the house, like sacrificing people and stuff. That was one reference. I watched another movie. This girl goes on a trip with her boyfriend or whatever like that. They get to this big mansion, and the guy convinces her to marry him. Come to find out, he a vampire, and they just want to do a ritual. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all over the place now. So if we let our guard up now, our children gonna be finished. It's gonna be over with, right? Hey, look at what Isaiah said. Look at what Isaiah said. But the simple ones of this world call it art in ignorance to the principalities of this world who have designed and implemented these things. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Hey,
and that's hey, Con,
no, go ahead. Finish your statement.
No, I was just gonna say a lot of the stuff they call conspiracy theories have been proven to be true. And so they use that as a blanket term so they can get away from the heat that we bring in by bringing this stuff out. But go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to thank Sister Laretha from Anointed House of Saints, North Carolina, real quick. I got to stop and thank that sister. She just gave a very generous donation. I just wanted to thank her. We appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Diligent sister, always never closed-fisted when it comes to the camp. So I just wanted to publicly acknowledge her and thank her for that. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barakatah, for that.
The water, sis. The water.
Go ahead, Boaz.
I was gonna say, in our Thursday chat, I shared some. It's like a news little article or something that goes into that. Like, just to add on to what you're going into, Adawan, like that's a TV show, but the article that I posted in there is actually something that's happening right now.
Right.
As far as like them doing Satanism, they have a outside school Satanism program.
Hey, let's bring it up real quick.
Where like kids can participate in this thing. And if you hear what Esau said out of her own mouth, what she said, you know that they the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Hey, that's right, man. It ain't no more denying that. It ain't no more denying that. And look, I mean, while he getting that, you're talking about the people that not only they killed all the indigenous people of this land, then they came here, said that by manifest destiny they was going to take this land because God gave them this land. Then they created a God to represent this land. Then they stopped teaching the Bible and they put you in slavery and they gave you half of the Bible and told you not to read. Then after that, it's like, yo, how much proof we need to have that these people are the damn devil, man? Now they in your schools with drag queen reading time and the Satanism club. It's crazy.
They did that whole piece in Texas where they had brought kids, and there's a clip that I found. I gotta get this because I'm gonna share it to Judah so they can see this. Because some of the stuff that they shared as far as what they did in Texas when they had them kids there pinning money on them drag queens, there was some stuff that they was said that was sick. It was straight sick, and you know that they was they're grooming children.
Oh yeah, because the children, if you get the children, you got the next generation.
God,
you know what I'm saying? So, hey Judah, if you can pull that up, that thing that he got, and then I'm gonna go into the menorah since we in the middle of dedication.
You put it in the Thursday night chat.
Yeah, Con, that should be in there.
Okay, Con. Hold on 1 second.
It's locking. My camera's slipping.
1 second.
All right. And while you're getting that, I wanna go back to Revelation chapter 18 right quick, right? And we may do a Revelation 18 breakdown soon. But Revelation 18 is heavy because number one, it calls you and tells you got to come out of Babylon or you're going to be a partaker of the plagues, right? Then it goes on to tell you that all the merchants of the earth were deceived by Babylon. And so whoever this Babylon the Great is, right? This is going to be a big clue to who Esau is. And whoever this Babylon the Great is, they have to have control and influence over many major nations on the earth. So if we're going to make the case that the Arabs are Esau, or that the white man is not Esau, if we're going to make that case, then you got to show me somebody who's more influential on the planet Earth and seducing the entire earth to follow after their witchcraft, man. You have to show me somebody that fits that. But go ahead, Ak.
Con, that's the video. You could click the video, Adawan. This says it's an after school Satan Club meeting in Wilmington.
Yep.
And I believe that's in Ohio.
Con, watch this. Nobody want to see that,
right?
Satan Club met for the first time here at Holmes Elementary. This has controversy brewing throughout the school district and the community.
I let my kids believe in whatever the hell they want to believe in, as long as they're happy and it's not hurting them or hurting someone else.
You don't believe in the dentist.
Through her kids' bag.
Got some pencils and we got a sticker.
New school supplies from her kids' new group, the After School Satan Club. Did your kids have fun today?
Oh yeah, they had a blast. They can't wait for the next one.
It's sponsored by the Satanic Temple. The After School program is popping up around the nation and in many schools that also give space to...
Hey, real quick. Before I let this keep going, because, we know how the devil works. Fair use. All right. We do not own this video. This is for educational purposes. All right.
That's right.
All right. I just had to do that. They're like, they don't be seeing the disclaimer.
To Christian groups. In Ohio, there's 3. Lebanon, Eaton, and now Wilmington.
We look to Satan as a symbol for standing up to tyrannical authority. To us, Satan is a symbol. It's like Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy.
The new group isn't about conjuring up spells.
Hey, that's damn right.
Instead,
it is like
June
Santa
Everett,
Claus
the After School Satan Club National Director, says it's about critical thinking, creative expression, and inclusion.
We don't talk about Satanism, even though we are non-theistic, meaning we don't believe, again, in a supernatural Satan. We don't push it on the kids.
Playing devil's advocate is Jane Johns. She stands alongside others that question the Satan Club's motives.
But I think most people are frightened by hearing that. I mean, that is a little uneasy to take in.
Wilmington City Schools released a lengthy statement that reads in part, the After School Satan Club is not a district or school-sponsored event, and it does not endorse the activities or the intent of the group or any religious groups.
I understand that we have to have both. If you allow one, you have to allow the other. But, with Satanism, everything's linked to be evil. It's what we've been taught.
This sticker was one of many things passed out to kids in their goodie bags this afternoon, and this group will meet once a month. Reporting in Wilmington, Danielle Dindak, WLWT News 5.
Come on, man.
This is the thing that don't make no sense, though. They said that they don't believe in a supernatural Satan. And they also said that they don't talk about Satanism, or they don't talk about Satan or something like that, right? Why you gotta use the little devil picture on the t-shirt?
Or the sticker.
Yeah, and then
T-shirt.
the little on the sticker, and then the inverted pentagrams, and what? It don't make no sense.
Come on, man.
That don't make no sense. But
That's
see, once again, you're a conspiracy theorist for going into that. You know what I'm saying? You losing credibility as the time goes on. That's how people think about it. Yo, if you even bring up certain topics to people, automatically they cutting you off because they like, yo, you don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what time it is. So, hey, let me get this last couple of pieces real quick, man. I want to go into this. Right. He said, play this video before Jake in the street, and they'll still find a way to save Esau. Hey, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
That's right, because they're not all bad. Right? They're not all bad.
Right.
Yeah, we done heard all of it before, man. All right, so I want to show y'all this. This will be the last thing I'm gonna go into. And I want to go into this because we right in the middle of dedication, and a lot of our people have questions. A lot of our people have questions about this menorah right here. And so I think it's important for us to understand where it comes from, why we use this brand of menorah versus the other one. Now, the other menorah is not something that's found in scripture at all. Matter of fact, we're going to read this. It's a long passage, but we're going to read Exodus 25 and 31. And that's going to give us the details for what the menorah is supposed to look like. In the future, you might be seeing a camp video, but we spoke to a brother. He ain't a brother, but we spoke to a guy at camp, and he walked up on us. He was a Jewish dude. He was asking about the menorah, and he was like, "Why y'all only got 7 branches? What you talking about? Right? Why you don't have 7 branches? Right? So let's get that. All right.
Kind, it's the book of Exodus, chapter 25 and verse 31. And thou shalt make a candlestick of pure gold. Of beaten work shall the candlestick be made. His shaft and his branches, his bowls, his knops, and his flowers shall be of the same. And 6 branches shall come out of the sides of it, 3 branches of the candlestick out of the one side, and 3 branches of the candlestick out of the other side.
Hey, you see that? So that's the mandate for it to be 7 candlesticks. All right, come on.
3 bowls made like unto almonds, with a knop and a flower in one branch, and 3 bowls made like almonds in the other branch, with a knop and a flower. So in the 6 branches that come out of the candlestick, and in the candlestick shall be 4 bowls made like unto almonds, with their knops and their flowers. Okay. And there shall be a knot under 2 branches of the same, and a knot under 2 branches of the same, and a knot under 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches that proceed out of the candlestick. Their knops and their branches shall be of the same. All it shall be one beaten work of pure gold. And thou shalt make the 7 lamps thereof, and they shall light the lamps thereof, that they may give light over against it.
Now pause real quick right there. Now this is a giant menorah. The one that Moses is writing about right now is a giant life-size. It's a human-sized menorah. It's not the little small ones that we have in our house. But the ones that we have in our house now represent the bigger one that was in the tabernacle or the temple, right? During the time of Solomon. So this in actually the original menorahs, they were oil lamps. They didn't have candles. It was called a candlestick because that's the word that the translators wanted to use, but they didn't have candles, right? They burned oil, and we're going to keep reading and we're going to see that. But that also gives precedence to when Hamashiach Yahushua tells the story about the 10 virgins with the lamps and oil, right? Makes you kind of think of that, like, oh snap, I gotta have my oil for my lamp to burn. And then now you immediately think of the temple, you immediately think of the menorah, right? All right, so go ahead and read down to 40. We're gonna finish at 40, and then we're gonna go on.
And the tongs thereof and the snuff dishes thereof shall be of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold shall he make it with all these vessels. And look that thou make them after their pattern, which was shewed thee in the mount.
Hey, you see that? So the Most High reminds Moses, yo, make sure you do it exactly after the pattern that I already showed you, right? And that verse right there also gives us a clue that when Moses was up on the mountain, sometimes we think he was only getting the laws, but he was also getting detailed instructions on like the mercy seat and the table for the showbread. He was getting detailed instructions because if you read through Exodus, the Most High is explaining this stuff in chapter 25, and he always says, make sure to do it according to the plans that I showed you on the mountain. Right? So that right there is a key indicator that we cannot be using no 9-candle menorah. That's not what the Most High God told our people to use.
Right.
So why now I'm going to read that verse 40. I'm going to read that and then turn around and say, we're going to add some more. We're going to add some more branches. Like, man, God forbid. And that's how we know the damn devil that the Bible speaks of. Now, I want to bring this out. Now, very interesting. The menorah is a tree and it's a lamp. Right? It's a tree because it's got branches. It's made like unto almonds, right? Almond branches. It also says that if you look closely at it, there's like little flowers, right? And we read that. If we go up to what verse was that? 30.
I think it was like 35.
31, actually. 31. Yep, and his flowers. So we got branches, we got flowers, and we got almonds. So the menorah represents a tree as well. And I just wanted to point that out for people, right? So it represents a tree, and it also represents a lamp, right? And there's only one thing on the earth that represents both trees and represent light. And that's us as Israelites, right? We're supposed to be a tree planted by the living waters, man. Right? Psalms chapter 1 and verse 3. We're supposed to be trees of righteousness. We're supposed to be bringing forth fruit for the Most High God. But also, we're supposed to show forth his light, right? First Peter chapter 2 and verse 9 says that the Lord called us out of darkness into his marvelous light. Right? Matthew chapter 5 tells us that you are the light of the world. So all of these things together, we understand the spiritual realities that the menorah is supposed to represent. So it's not just something that the Most High gave us and we can change it up and do what we want to do with. It's an important symbol. And 7 represents completion, right? All right. So now you're looking at the Hebrew. Once again, we're not going to stay on this too long, but we're looking at the Hebrew for Leviticus 24 and 4. And it says, on the lampstand, pure gold, he shall be in charge of the lamps before Yahweh continually, right? Look at this. This word right here is the word menorah. This is where the word menorah comes from. It just means the lampstand or the candlestick, it might say in certain translations, right? These are ancient images of what a menorah looks like. We know for a fact what a menorah is supposed to look like because we have ancient artifacts. We have the Ark of Titus, where they're carrying our instruments out of the temple at 70 AD. They're carrying our instruments away, right? We got the menorah at Beth Shearim catacomb in Galilee, right? In the 2nd through the 4th centuries CE, after the majority of our Israelite brothers and sisters was kicked out of our land, some people still remain there until what they call the Bar Kokhba revolt. And when the Bar Kokhba revolt happened, that's when the final large groups of Israelites and true Israelites of the stock of Jacob, when those final groups of people was finally pushed out of the land, right? Well, some of those catacombs exist. And as you see, there's a 6 candlestick menorah there. No ancient artifact shows a menorah with 9 candlesticks. None of them. All right. So, hey, get Joel 3, 1 through 6 real quick.
I got that. Let's see. This is the book of Joel. Gotta find it. So that won't be hiding sometimes. Hold on. I'm almost there. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3. You want verse 31, you said?
No, I want 3, 1 through 6.
1 through 6. Like it. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Hey, you see that? So we see a depiction of this here in history. Come on.
And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot and have sold a girl for wine that they might drink.
Come on.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye render Salakia, and if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. Because ye,
right here.
Salakia, my bad.
You're good. This
Keep
is the
going.
point right here.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border.
Hey, you see that? And these are the people that carried us far from our border. And they took our goodly and pleasant things out of our temple and put it into their temples. And today their temples are what they call museums, right? All right. So now the question is, where did this come from? Well, I was doing some research on this, and the so-called Jewish man created a story in their document called the Talmud. And it's called the miracle of the cruse of oil, or the miracle of Hanukkah, right? Now, look at what they say right here. There's a clue. It says the miracle of Hanukkah is a Agadah depicted in the Babylonian Talmud. What the heck is an Agadah, right?
Right.
It says Agadah is the non-legalistic exegesis or fairy tale which appears in the classical rabbinic literature of Judaism, particularly the Talmud and the Midrash. So basically, they're admitting to you that the story of the miracle of the light is a fairy tale. They're telling you this, right? In the story of the miracle, it occurred after the liberation of the temple in Jerusalem during the Maccabean revolt, right? So during this week, and it describes the finding of a jug of pure oil that was to be enough to light the lamp for one day, but it lasted for 8 days. So because of that, every day they light another branch of the candlestick. Now, what you're looking at on the right here is a Jewish prayer book from Bavaria in 1738. And notice there's a white man on there, right? And this is for another study in another time. But anything you see from the so-called Jewish man is not going to go back before the 17th century, because they didn't have a good grasp on taking our identity yet, right? The 17th century, the 16th century is when all of that took place. So it's like, this is when they burst onto the scene and they start changing stuff up and start making it look like it was them the whole time, right? Well, this is the cut. On this thing right here, why he only got 7 branches of the menorah.
Right.
Right? Watch this. The 9-branch candelabra, also known as the Hanukkah menorah or Hanukkah, sometimes spelled Hanukkah, is the lamp that Jews light during the 8 days of Hanukkah. The menorah is comprised of 8 branches, one for each day of Hanukkah. Once again, where do the scriptures tell us to do this? Where do it say to do this in the book of Maccabees? Right? Plus another one for the Shamash, the helper candle. They light that first candle in the middle, and they use that candle to light all the other candles throughout the week. Right? Once again, there's no biblical foundation for this. It's more of a cultural thing because, like I said, they're using the Talmud and they're following that. But even when I go through and I looked at Chabad.org or Safaria, they don't even talk about the candlesticks because that's not a thing. So I still have yet to find out where the first 8 candlestick or 9 candlestick menorah came from. I have yet to find that out. But I know where the story of the miracle of light came from, right? That came from the Talmud. And so since it's the feast of Hanukkah, that's another teaching moment for us as Israelites that we need to understand. We need to be able to break that down and tell people why we have the true menorah and why other people don't. Right? And I'm going to show you a couple more things. I'm going to be done. So it says Hanukkah is an 8-day winter holiday commemorating the victory over Greek conquerors in the 2nd century BCE. It is widely known as the Festival of Lights. Right? But once again, when we read the Bible, when we go to the book of John, chapter 10, let's go there real quick. Right?
Okay.
And you know what I want? I want where he went to the feast. Salakia, hold on. Salakia, I should have wrote this down. It just came to my mind though. Hold on. Let me find this real fast.
If you're still alive in the chat, put a 7 in the Bentley. Put a 7 in the chat if you're still alive, man. If you are still alive, put a 7 in the chat. Go ahead.
You talking about Feast of Dedication, Adawan?
Uh-huh.
Let's talk about that. Verse 22.
Okay, Khan. That's what I was thinking, but I thought it was earlier than that.
Khan.
All right, go ahead. If you got it, go ahead and read it.
It's the book of John, chapter 10 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
And it was at Jerusalem, the Feast of Dedication, and it was winter.
Okay, so here we have a historical reference from the 1st century, right? That shows us that it was called the Feast of Dedication, not the Feast of Lights, which means that Hamashiach Yahushua did not call it the Feast of Lights, and the disciples did not call it the Feast of Lights. And we can go to historical documents and understand why it's called the Feast of Dedication in the book of Maccabees. So we just want to bring that out, and we need to be able to expound on that for people who may be in that thought process, right? But even when you go here, once again, when you go to Safaria and Kabbat.org, right, you got the so-called white Jews writing about Hanukkah. It says on the 25th day of the month is Hanukkah, talking about this month, 8 days on which one does not eulogize, because when the Greeks entered the temple, they defiled the oil. When the hand of the Hasmoneans was made strong and they defeat the Greeks, they checked and only found 1 jar of oil. Once again, this is something that's not found in the scripture. This is only found in the Talmud. So you see how they write about it as if it's true. So now when their adherents or their followers go back to research it, this is what they see. And they're like, oh, so the one of the main steps of mind control is to keep saying something over and over, right? And basically what happens is it becomes truth in your mind because you heard it so many times. And that's what's going on with this. They go through, I pulled up 5, 6, 7 different instances. You see what I'm saying? And they bring it up over and over and over again as if it's something that happened. But when we read the scriptures, it's not there. When we read the book of Maccabees, it's not there, right? So y'all stand on that, and you can know why we use that menorah that we use. All right. So I'm done right there. I appreciate y'all being patient with us. Hey, anytime you want any more information from a class that I personally teach, send us an email. And we'll see what we can do. I'll try to get the slides out to you or whatever like that. But that's all I got. All right.
Con. All praise to the Most High, man. All praise to the Most High, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. All right. We appreciate the donations that we received. You helping us push the word as a new organization. This is what it comes with. You know what I'm saying? So we need y'all's generous support. More than anything, we need y'all support on our weekly classes, which are going to be Monday. You're going to find out Wednesday class is going to pop up. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. All right? Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Be tuned in for camp videos. that are going to be dropping. All right. I'm going to put this out here because since somebody asked, if you want to do the work with us, send us an email to anointedhos@gmail.com. Once we get, through all, getting the prospect phases and all that stuff together and we're ready to do so, we will contact you. But we'll definitely keep brothers up to date on where we at with that process. We ain't going to leave y'all hanging. But if you feel like you want to do the work with us, you can definitely send us an email and we'll contact you back and let you know where we at with it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're in North Carolina, San Francisco, or Atlanta.
Atlanta, that's right.
Yep. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in. All right. We're the Anointed House of Saints. All right. And remember, the Saints will take the kingdom. Shema Mashiach Yahushua, all right?
Shema Mashiach Yahushua.
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
This is not a test.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, black skin, black stones.